All right, let's just dive right into this explainer. We are going to reverse engineer exactly how a brand new, totally secret channel proved that viral success is absolutely not just about luck. Today, we're breaking down over 100 days of, relentless work, strategic pivots, and some serious algorithmic mysteries. We're looking at a creator who started from absolute zero and built a system that just pumped out thousands of dollars in passive income. If you've ever wondered what actually happens behind the scenes when someone tries to manually force the algorithm to pay attention to them, well, you are in exactly the right place. I mean, think about it. How does a brand new gaming channel pull in $24,000 in just 90 days? Especially when its best piece of content got literally 0 views for weeks. Well, that 24 grand is the exact number we're decoding today. And you know what? The most fascinating part of this whole journey isn't just that final number. It's the friction, the absolute grind it took to get there. We're talking about fighting a broken algorithm, dealing with insanely delayed data, and completely rethinking how to package digital content. So let's kick things off with phase one, the high-effort strategy. To really get this, we've got to go back to day one. This creator made a super strategic choice to completely throw out the normal playbook for the Roblox game 99 Nights in the Forest. Instead of just doing what everyone else was doing, they looked at the landscape and spotted a massive gap in the market. While everyone else in this specific gaming niche was just grinding out basic daily uploads, kind of that low-effort, high-volume gameplay stuff, this creator took a totally different route. They spent weeks crafting a massive, high-effort myth-busting video. They basically took a concept that works incredibly well in other niches and brought it over to a space where literally no one else was doing it. The logic was actually pretty simple. Pour 100 times more effort into one single outlier piece of content rather than just adding to the daily noise. But of course, that brings us to phase two, the algorithm's cold shoulder. Because look, high effort doesn't always mean an instant reward. Actually, the initial response from the algorithm here was just absolutely brutal. You'd think bringing outlier quality to a niche would make the platform instantly love you, right? Yeah, not so much. Look at this timeline, because honestly, this is exactly where most creators throw in the towel. Day one, the content goes up. By day 5, it has a whopping 10 total impressions. And get this, those were just from end screens and channel pages, which means the algorithm pushed it to exactly 0 new people. By day 10, still 0 homepage impressions, 0 sidebar impressions. For practically 2 whole weeks, this massive third upload just sat there, dead in the water. It got to the point where the creator genuinely thought the channel was glitched. But then, day 14 hits, and boom, the algorithm finally wakes up and we see a massive spike. But there's a huge catch here. When it finally did get pushed out, it went to the absolute wrong audience. The algorithm started recommending this 99 Nights in the Forest content right next to hardcore Mr. Beast Minecraft videos and Blox Fruit stuff. Which brings us to this absolutely perfect quote from our source material. Obviously, the retention is going to be bad if you're force-feeding broccoli to a little kid who loves donuts. I mean, that just hits the nail on the head, right? It's the ultimate mismatch in audience retention. The system was testing the waters, but it was serving the content up to viewers with totally different expectations. That temporarily tanked the performance metrics, while the algorithms scrambled to find the actual right viewers. So, getting the platform to finally figure out who your audience is, that's really only half the battle. Let's move to phase 3, the monetization hurdle. The next big boss fight is, actually getting paid for all that attention. Our creator was absolutely racking up views and hit a massive 40,000 watch hours. That is way, way beyond the 4,000 required for the partner program. But they were completely bottlenecked by the 1,000 subscriber requirement. They had the watch time, but no subs, which is literally the exact opposite problem most people have. So they moved to step 2. They uploaded a specific short just flat out asking for subscribers because, well, shorts are insanely effective at driving sub counts. And it worked. But then came step 3. The waiting game. The platform's tracking was running about 5 days behind. That meant 40,000 watch hours went completely unmonetized while the system played catch-up. Just imagine how incredibly frustrating that is, leaving a huge chunk of money on the table just because of data delays. Finally, the acceptance email comes through. They go in, they monetize the existing content. But that whole high of getting monetized, it was instantly crushed. The creator checks their analytics and sees a tiny little $3 RPM. That's revenue per mil, what you earn per 1,000 views. At $3, a really impressive 20,000 views only translated to about $60. After weeks of insane effort, surviving that 0 impression purgatory, and dealing with tracking delays, staring at $60 felt like a massive letdown. But then they had this great moment of clarity. With some pretty fantastic self-deprecating humor from the source, they realized something super critical about their dashboard. It was set to US dollars. Since this creator is based in Canada, they switched their analytics over to their local currency, which they jokingly called their Canadian peasant currency, and instantly realized it was actually yielding much higher daily returns visually. It literally added about $100 to what they were seeing on the screen. And sure, it's just a currency conversion, but psychologically, it completely validated the massive effort they were putting in and suddenly made the math make a whole lot more sense.
Which sets us up perfectly for Phase 4, the $1,000 day. Everything they learned from those brutal delays, the audience mismatches, the whole RPM math situation, it all culminated right here with video number 5. Armed with real algorithmic data and a much deeper understanding of what their audience actually clicks on, they spent 3 full weeks building what they called a steroids version of their best upload. Just check out these specs. They used proven, outlier thumbnails. They went after really complex myths, contrasting quick 1-minute tasks against crazy 10-hour grinds. And most importantly, they pushed the total runtime to a massive 34 minutes. This wasn't just another piece of content, it was an event. And when they dropped it, it absolutely exploded out of the gate, pulling in 600,000 views in just 2 days.
And here's exactly why that 34-minute runtime was an absolute masterstroke. Because it was longer, the platform could slot in more ads. That caused the RPM to double, jumping from $3 to nearly $6. So you take that massive influx of views, combine it with a doubled RPM, and you get a staggering single-day revenue of $965 from just one single upload. Factor in a tiny bit of side revenue from another channel, and they basically hit the holy grail for a new creator, a legit $1,000 day.
Let's wrap this up with Phase 5, Blueprint for Digital Creators.
Because look, this isn't just a fun little story about a gaming channel, right? It's a highly structured, reverse-engineered strategy that pretty much any digital creator can learn from. The source actually calls this the mythical strategy for maximizing revenue. Step 1, you create multiple, distinct, really high-effort myth-busting videos. Step 2, use targeted shorts strictly to farm the subscribers you need to get monetized. And step 3, and this is the real genius part, you take all of those individual pieces and you stitch them together into one massive 1-hour mega video. It completely proves that smart packaging can drastically multiply the value of the hard work you already did, giving you a long-form asset the algorithm just loves to push for high watch time. Just look at how this chart breaks down the staggering 90-day total. Out of that massive $24,000 this channel brought in, an unbelievable $21,000 came from that single, hyper-optimized 34-minute fifth video. The remaining $3,000 was just from the earlier stuff. And you want to know the craziest part? This specific piece of content, which hit over 3.5 million views, just kept generating about $100 a day in pure passive income, while the creator literally went on holiday for a month. Talk about all that front-loaded friction paying off exponentially.
So I'll leave you to think about this final question. In a digital landscape where absolutely everyone expects instant viral results, are you abandoning your highest effort projects right before the algorithm finally wakes up? This explainer proves that success is definitely not always about the first 48 hours. Sometimes it's just about surviving those first 13 days of 0 impressions, tweaking your strategy, and building that 34-minute masterpiece. Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive. Now get out there and keep building.